Good morning, this is Mary Catherine, and today I'm going to do some Bee Balm. I'm going to make some nice lotion, and I thought I would bring you along. So let's do this together. This is my big yellow tub full of all of my soap making and lotion making and ointment making ingredients and supplies. So I'll take you in there and let you look at it. So let's look in the big tub. What have we here? All these towels are used to wrap my soap after I make it to keep it warm. You're trying to let it cool as slowly as possible, so you wrap it with towels. These are some soap molds that I never use. A lot of this is for soap. What I'm making today is Bee Balm, and Bee Balm has olive oil, coconut oil, and because it's warm, it's in the summer, this is softer than usual, which is nice. It has beeswax, which I have a teeny bit in here, but I've got more and I'm going to have to cut that. That is the ingredient that's you have to usually order unless you want to clean your own beeswax from your own bees. And it's just hard to cut. It's just a pain to work with, but it's an essential ingredient in this lotion. So beeswax, and then I have a little vitamin E oil and a little bit of grapefruit essential oil. The other thing I need in this tub, most of the stuff in here is used for making other things, but I do need my double boiler because this is what I'm going to make this in, and that's all I need in my tub today. Yes, that's right. I tell you, I haven't made some of this stuff in a while because of the pandemic. I haven't been going to the farmer's market, and when I don't go to the farmer's market, I don't sell as much product, and so I don't make as much, and I've kind of forgotten my skill set, I'm sorry to say. I used to call this Dama's Bee Balm because I named it after my grandmother, Dama. That was her name. Interesting name, Dama Juanita. And the first time I ever made this balm, which is a wonderful skin lotion. It's all natural. It's so good for your skin. I use it on my face. This is a 57-year-old face. I don't wear any makeup, but I do love this Bee Balm. Anyway, I don't see the container. The container that I first used, maybe I'll insert a picture in here of it. It was the container that sat on my grandmother's stove, and every time that she made bacon for my granddaddy, every morning she would put the bacon grease into this container on the back of the stove, and it sat there, and then if they needed some grease to cook with, they would scoop out some, usually with the spatula, slap it in the skillet. Anyway, that container was just always there at my grandmother's house, and I just loved it. It's very old-fashioned. I think it might even be a hall bowl. It was a small bowl with a lid. Anyway, so I call it Dama's Bee Balm because of the jar. I don't use that jar anymore, obviously. I make this and contain it in tubs and sell it. It's a very simple recipe, and I keep the recipe in this book. This is my handwritten cookbook that a family gave to me when I got married 31 years ago, and this book was actually designed and printed by their daughter, their adult daughter, and it has been so useful to me. I have everything in here, including my Red Robin soaps recipes. And so here's the page for Dama's Bee Cream, and you can expand this recipe as much as you like. The original recipe calls for 4 ounces of olive oil, 1 ounce of beeswax, 1 large tablespoon, and when I say large tablespoon, I mean you take a soup spoon and you heap it up, of coconut oil, 1/4 teaspoon of vitamin E oil, and 12 drops of grapefruit essential oil. So I keep all of these things on stock, including the beeswax, which is a bit of a pain. The beeswax I order in big pieces like this. This is maybe a pound, I think. I have my scale here. I'll show you all my equipment down here in a second. I have a chunk of it. This is 2.3 ounces and 2.8 ounces. So I'm going to try to get 3 ounces. Cut a little bit more off of this with a big knife. Get myself 3 ounces of beeswax. If I use 3 ounces of beeswax, that means I need 12 ounces of olive oil. And this will make a very small batch, but right now I only don't have many tubs. Beeswax. I'm out of tubs. So, and actually, my hands are kind of tender after years of playing the piano and such, and I usually take a couple of pot holders and put it on top of the knife when I press down on it. Here, you'll want to see this. You don't want to see my face grunting and groaning. Oh, wait. Oh, is that good? There we go. So see, I'm pressing down on this on a cutting board on a flat surface. And you kind of wiggle it back and forth and get yourself a chunk. Now, Adam is better at this. He can cut this off in huge hunks really fast, but he is a lot stronger than I am. So now we're going to look at our digital scale here. And see how much this is. So that's 2.8. Too much beeswax will change the consistency of your lotion. And your customers actually might not like it, even though beeswax is an expensive ingredient and all that stuff. They might not want it as stiff as it makes it. So it's important to stick to the recipe as much as you can. That's pretty close. Making something like this is not like making soap. Making soap, that's a chemical experiment. And you really have to follow the ingredients quite carefully. Okay, so let me move this over here where you can see it better. And we'll finish our ingredients. I have my camera tripod balanced on a stack of boxes of cereal. So the things that we do to record. Okay, so the other thing, I like to do the beeswax first and get it out of the way. And the next thing we have is olive oil. Turn this back on. My digital scale is set to ounces, and it has a tare option where you can zero it back out. So I've done that, and then I want 12 ounces of olive oil. And olive oil is definitely the first ingredient. Now, this is a very thick lotion. I call it a balm. A lotion, to me, is a lighter product. And lotions that are creamy and lightweight and disappear into your skin and don't feel heavy, they are about 75 to 80% water, which is great because water is free. But the problem about that is that they also have oils, and if you have waters and oils, you have to have an emulsifier. And then you get into a lot of, to me, chemical products in your lotion that I really don't want. I want, let me zero that out. I don't actually need my scale anymore at this point. I want natural products in my lotions, and I looked into making lighter lotions because I had some requests for it, but in the end I opted to stick. I think that what I'm making in my business, my little homemade business now, is enough. I don't want to add anything else. Okay, let's get a little tablespoon. This is a very inexact science. I just do a nice round tablespoon. Scrape it off with my Seriously, it is important to wash your hands before you do any of this. And just make sure you don't get any stray hairs in your product. Usually I put my hair up really carefully when I do this on the back of my head, but since I'm videotaping, I have it down because it looks prettier, but normally I do keep it up. Now, we're going to melt all this in our double boiler. And as I get that started, I will say, here's my grapefruit essential oil and my vitamin E. Now, I have some vitamin E oil I bought like at Dollar General or something. When I looked at the ingredients, it also has palm oil. It's not pure vitamin E oil. And then I came across some vitamin E little capsules that I had and wasn't using. And I remembered that you can take a pen, because these are soft, And you can stick the pen in the end of this and puncture it. And you'd be amazed at how much vitamin E is in one of these capsules. And you can squeeze it really well. And it takes a while to get it all out of there. It doesn't want to. Hello again. Bobo's here too. Bobo doesn't want to be here. Tricky, go away. Tricky's here too. Tricky wants to be here. Here's Bobo. He's my little boy. He's such a good boy. He's sometimes a grumpy dog. In the mornings, he's not a very awake dog. When he's sleepy, his tongue is out. But he's a very sweet one. He loves us very much. He loves his daddy. He also loves his mommy. So I thought you might like to see Bobo. His name is Prince Bilbo Beauregard Longshanks. Okay, and so Bobo comes from the end of Bilbo and the beginning of Beauregard. So his name is B-O space B-E-A-U. I know, it's ridiculous. All of our dogs have always had ridiculous names. Trixie's name is Beatrix Bunny Boo Boo. Don't even ask. So here's Bobo. But while we're waiting on our lotion to cool, I shouldn't call it lotion, it's a balm, Bee Balm. While we're waiting on our Bee Balm to cool today, I thought I would talk a little bit about the products that I make, because my goal is for them to be natural. And what that means is just that the ingredient list is simple. That when you read the ingredient list, there should be nothing that sounds like it comes from a laboratory, nothing with long words you can't pronounce, you know, nothing that would make you wonder if you're putting chemicals on your skin, because in my opinion, some of the chemicals that are in a lot of the store-bought products are actually, I don't know if they're designed to dry your skin out or they just do dry your skin out, but then they dry your skin out and then you need more lotion. And then the lotion dries your skin out and you need more lotion. You find yourself reapplying and reapplying and reapplying, which of course uses up more lotion. So then you have to go buy more lotion. Anyway, and that's what I like. The Bee Balm that I sell, it comes in a little tub. Phooey, I've got one in here somewhere, I'm sure. A little tub, it's a half cup, 4 ounces. And it lasts forever. I just use a little, like the size of a dime on my face in the morning. Because it's heavy. No, it's not heavy on your face. It melts in, and the oils melt into your skin. And the beeswax that's in it, which is not a lot of beeswax, like you saw, it's 1 ounce of beeswax to 4 ounces of olive oil. And if you only use a teaspoon of it, a fingertip of it, it's a little bit, but it goes on your skin and it seals your skin. Beeswax, wax, of course, is a better sealant than oil. Anyway, all that to say, I think natural products on your skin are better. I wouldn't necessarily recommend a product like this to a teenager with oily skin. I don't know that it would hurt, but especially for someone my age who is older and your skin is drying out, it's a wonderful product, and I sell a lot of this. I got this recipe from a blogger named Jody Courtney. She's no longer blogging, but she is a rancher's wife in Montana, and she knows her stuff when it comes to dry skin, of course. So I thought I would mention just the importance of natural ingredients. And if you can make your own stuff, if you have olive oil, coconut oil, if you can get your hands on some clean beeswax, a little vitamin E oil, a little grapefruit essential oil. If you like the smell of grapefruit, you could put lavender in it, you could put any scent you want. Then make your own and see what you think. It is great on elbows that are dry. It is great on dry feet. But I use it as a facial moisturizer and have for years now. And Bobo's being so good. Can you see Bobo? I think I'm only getting the top of his head. I'll cut off my head and get Bobo's face. There's Bobo. But I know people who use it on their lips. I also make a lip balm, but a lot of people prefer this on their lips. So, hey, sweetums. All right, well, we'll go back to our Bee Balm and see how it's doing. Okay, now the Bee Balm liquid is totally melted. All the ingredients have melted in the double boiler. So we'll turn our heat off and we'll lift this double boiler out. and set it over here to cool. Dump our water out. And this needs to cool until it starts to solidify. You want to catch it in that little time period where it's not a hot liquid, it's not all liquid, and it's starting to solidify. And then you have to do the other really nasty thing besides cutting beeswax. You have to get out a hand mixer like this one, and you have to actually kind of fluff it up with a hand mixer, and it's just a really nasty, greasy, messy thing to have to do. I think it's the reason why my customers that I give this recipe to, they don't make it themselves, because it's just a pain. All right, we're back doing our Bee Balm, and it's just about ready. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what it looks like. See that consistency? It's still horrible. It's pourable, but it's starting to solidify, especially around the edges. And you'll notice it's kind of green looking, and that's because of the color of the beeswax. Beeswax varies in color just like honey does, according to what the bees are bringing into their hive. So it doesn't mean anything if your beeswax is white or yellow or golden or green. It's all, this has been cleaned by the company I bought it from. So I don't do a mischief to my fingers. And I can also mess with those later. That's the part I hate, is just messing with the beaters, and the bowl is not quite so bad, but everything that you use in this is going to have wax on it. Just a little bit of wax. And I have tried using this without, just pouring it as a hot liquid into these tubs, and they will tolerate that. But the consistency of the Bee Balm is just not quite the same if you don't beat it, sorry to say. A little bit more in there. Brushy mountain bees and stuff like that, whatever. I'm hoping this will make whatever you can find is least expensive. That's a little bit full too. You don't want it to be too close to the lid. But if you let this get too solid, I'm going to bang these down a bit. If you let it get too solid, it's just really hard to get it into the tub because it's a very solid lotion. And you'll end up with pockets of air in there, which means you're selling your customer air instead of lotion. You don't want to do that. Okay. Well, I'm going to put the rest of this in my refill tub. I'll put lids on these. I also have stickers that I make, and I'll probably post a little picture of kind of my finished tub that I sell. I sell these for $7 a tub. The tub and the lid itself cost me, I think, a little under $2. They're kind of expensive. The sticker is like 15 cents. Then of course, you have the ingredients as well, but I still make enough on it, and I enjoy doing it. If I ever get to the point where I can't stand doing it anymore, I will stop. But I still use it, and I have a lot of customers that really kind of depend on this product. It really keeps their skin in good shape as they age. Usually I make more than 3 tubs. Usually I make about 9 or 10 tubs at a time, but it is a small batch business, that's for sure. I will put the recipe in a little box. I think you've probably already seen it in the video, but I'll also put it in the description. It's a very easy recipe, and then you can make your own if you prefer. Thanks a bunch. See you later.